Well, hello everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. My name is Rachel. I'm a holistic health practitioner and founder of Native Reiki. So today we are going to be talking about my journey into health and wellness, specifically into holistic health. Um, I kind of have a very long backstory, so I'm just going to keep it plain and simple. Basically, I did have a very traumatic childhood, and up to my teenage years and even in my adult years. I had, just a lot of abuse in my past, trauma, um, in different forms. And unfortunately, I ended up having my first breakdown when my son was going to school, his first day of kindergarten, and he was taking the bus to school. Now, he had an older stepbrother who, walked him on the bus, and um, but the problem was, as soon as the bus pulled off, I had a panic attack. And that's the first time that I had had one that was so bad. And then I had starting having nightmares. I was disassociating. I was just having a really hard time functioning. I was in a state of panic, basically, um, all day and all night. So I did, of course, go to see a psychiatrist and a mental health counselor. I was then diagnosed with PTSD, which is now chronic. I was diagnosed back in 2012. And then about a year and a half after treatment, I had kind of gone into remission. So we were able to take all the medications off. And of course, I did that very slowly with the guidance of my psychiatrist. So I was actually doing pretty well after that. I was taking St. John's wort, which, really seemed to help. But unfortunately, I had around 2018, I had another breakdown. Um, and it was basically just from watching something on TV. That was right around the time that Kevin Spacey started having all those accusations against him. And I saw an interview with his brother that was extremely horrific and extremely triggering. So, unfortunately, that episode in 2018 was the worst that I had ever experienced, up to the point that I could no longer work. I did try quite a few work from home jobs, and I really did the best I could, but it was just impossible for me to continue the work that I was doing, which was I was an RN with a master's degree, and the last job I had, I was actually working as a clinical education specialist. So basically, I was an educator. And in my past, I had also worked as a research nurse, as well as an educator. So my background is in nursing, but unfortunately, I was never able to pursue it after my PTSD had gotten so bad. There was just no way, and there still is no way. So that started me off on a different path of, what am I going to do with my life now? Where do I start? Where do I begin? And somehow or the other, I don't remember exactly what happened. I may have been um, talking to somebody or watching videos about something, but something about holistic health popped up. And it seemed, of course, very intriguing to me, because actually when I was working as a nurse, I thought I was actually in my graduate program. I had wanted to be a holistic health nurse practitioner. And at that time, which was a long time ago, but at that time, there was only one in the state. Very, very sought after type position, especially when it's rare to find somebody that specializes in it. But again, the nursing side was not, unfortunately, just not an option for me any longer. So around 2019, I started having a hypomanic episode, which they had not diagnosed me with bipolar 2 until after that. But they did diagnose me with PTSD and bipolar 2. So just bear with me. Sometimes I talk a little slow and I have a lisp, and sometimes it just takes me a minute to kind of process what I'm trying to say. So that's what got me started. So I got online and started just signing up for any, classes that I could. And it was great because I'm a Native American, and I'm part of the Chickasaw Nation. And they have a lot of programs, but especially for education, where they will pay for your your training, your certifications. You can do any type of vocational studies, and they will pay for that. And also they will help pay for your degree if you're going to university. So I started taking a lot of holistic classes. The first one I ever took was Reiki. It was Reiki 1, 2, and 3, and it was all online. But I wasn't really impressed. All it really was just reading PDFs. There was no videos, there was no explanations. It was just like, okay, read this and you're done, basically. So, I caught the gist of it. It's and then I ended up going back and found a YouTube video where they explained all of it from 1 to 3. And it was the very same content that I had been exposed to. So that worked out really well, and it was a game changer for me, because it really helped me learn about not being so up here about myself, not to be self-absorbed, but to really focus on people, either clients, my family, strangers, just whatever it is. It helps me to focus on them and bring out that love to them and project that love energy into them and around them. So that is what started my journey. And then after that, I got a certification through Center of Excellence for aromatherapy. That's kind of where I started with them. And then I had gotten a couple more classes outside of COE, one being crystal healing, and the other was a certified meditation instructor. So again, I was just building up all of this knowledge, and doing it as fast as I could while I could. So with COE, once I had kind of a good understanding of all of those practices that I had learned, I went back to COE and took their holistic health practitioner program. So that was very good because basically you learn about, what a holistic health practitioner is, what it entails, and just some different techniques and, um, you know, just to kind of find out where your interest lies because there's just so much out there. So, of course, my major focus was Reiki. So after taking that course, I started finding a lot more types of Reiki out there to learn and to practice. Now, everybody starts with Yusui Reiki 1 through 3. It's the most popular. That's really where anybody should start before they start taking any other types of Reiki. So I learned a whole bunch of different types of Reiki. There's, there's a lot that is Native American inspired, and as well as some attunements. I took a wolf attunement. I learned sacred moon Reiki, medicine wheel Reiki, um, animal Reiki, and there's several more, but just to give you a gist of that. So once I really started, gaining a lot of knowledge and skills, I decided that it was time to open my own business. And the coursework at COE really helps you understand how, because in many of those courses at the very, probably one of the last lessons is how to start your own business, in that field. So I read up a lot about that, and I ended up starting my own business. The name of it is Native Reiki, of course, and so I moved to Oklahoma. I got my LLC, and I was working out of my home at the time, that the home I lived in. And I remember when I got my first client, I was just so nervous and so anxious. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it, but then I just heard this little whisper. It was like the universe told me, you're a natural. Just get in there and do what you know. And that's exactly what I did. And the clients that I had at that time were just really, it really made a difference to them. And I seem to always get this question like, what are you? And it seems like a lot of people ask, are you a witch? And I'm like, no, I'm not a witch. I'm Native American. I'm very spiritual. I'm not religious. And I just have a lot of knowledge about different ways of healing, especially energy healing, and, different things like that. So now I am living in Tishomingo, Oklahoma. And currently I'm having to do all my work online. I can't see patients or clients in person here at the house just because of my landlord restrictions. So I do have a couple of opportunities coming up to where I should hopefully be getting some retail space soon. So it's great. It's a journey. One thing about my business is it's not just about Reiki. Of course, I teach a lot of courses. I have a lot of courses available online. I will teach classes live on social media. And, I do card readings. I practice Native American astrology, looking at the moon. I'm also halfway through my moonology diploma at COE. So I feel like I'm still, a beginner, just a baby in, the small business world. And a lot of it is just because doing it on my own is very challenging because of me being neurodivergent. So it's really something I could use a lot of help on, but especially the technical computer stuff. But I'm here. I'm happy with what I've accomplished. I'm so excited about getting some office space. And I'm very, very excited about teaching others this knowledge, these techniques, um, especially to the Native American demographic. Of course, that's, I live on tribal lands right now. And so Native Americans are actually a very marginalized culture. And the majority actually live in poverty level income. So I feel very strong about being able to give them some tools to be able to move into that purpose instead of you know, just getting by day to day. There's so much out there. There's so much world to see. There's so much air to breathe and ocean to listen to. And, just living life positively, spreading good energy, and in the process, spreading that energy of love to everybody. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And I would ask that you please like and subscribe to my channel. It's actually, most of my content is on TikTok, but I am starting up a YouTube channel as well, just because I can record a little bit longer. So if I have, something, with TikTok, you can only do 10 minutes unless you're doing a live. So anyway, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you very soon.